Tom, what's happening? Welcome. Oh, hello, Tracy. What's happening? Welcome, welcome. Ma just got home from work. Nice. Fox dude, what's going on? Good to see everyone. What's going on, Dan the man? Giggity, 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 giggity. All right. Just another. Danster, what's happening? The way the Danster always says how many seconds that he missed is it makes me think that he needs me to actually put like the Wolverine Garage logo on the clouds like they call Batman, just so Dan can go, it's time. What's happening? What's happening? Colleen Tecmo. Super Tecmo Bowl. I got that ratchet all cleaned up and ready to rip. It just had some fossilized grease inside of it. Little dab of grease on all the moving parts, and then put it all back together. And I'm Batman. I'm Batman. I'm Batman. Why is it that Christian Bale talks like this when he's not in the Batman suit, but the minute he puts on Batman suit, he talks like this? He cannot be understood by the saying. There's a spoof on I am diabetes. I am diabetes. There's a guy that he dresses up as Batman. He dresses up as Heath Ledger Joker, and he's picking on Batman, and it's Batman targeting the Joker, and Batman's like blah 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 blah, and Joker's like, what are you saying? I don't understand. And then it's back to Batman, and he's and back to Joker. Joker's like, dude, I don't understand. What the are you saying? And you see this Batman fist comes over and doosh, 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 doosh. I don't understand. Bah, 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 bah. The Joker said some people call me the space cowboy, and some call him the gangster of love. Some people call him Maurice. Woo woo! Because I speak of the pompousness of love. I wonder, I don't know who. Uh, I love the shirts where Batman interviews people for the Justice League. The last one with I Diabetes sung to Tequila is awesome. Yeah. Diabetes. Do 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 do. One of my favorites was Frank Caliendo. He's just always doing really great impersonations. And he's on the radio. He's on some radio show, and all of a sudden he's like, "Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, Aquaman makes himself a tuna fish sandwich," and you hear, I'm like, "That's funny." Or Pete Holmes, bat candy fires everyone. Yeah, Frank Caliendo is uber talented, and I've noticed that. What's up, Jill? But I've noticed that he's kind of tame these days, and I mean, he was working really hard back in the day. And I don't know if the Pete Holmes skits or the Batman skits that I'm thinking of. I'll have to look those up. Tam, Tam, Tom, Tam, Tam. What's up? Nice. It's like those stupid uh um Thomas's breakfast things. They're like trying to say Tom the way he says Tom, and they're like Tam. He's like, how do we get to Tam? Yeah, Frank Caliendo. I think one of my favorite Frank Caliendo impersonations, there's so many, but it's just when he impersonates George Bush Jr. God, that's so funny. Oh, chill. We talk about everything and nothing all at the same time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, when Frank does impressions of Madden, that's pretty funny. Ozzy, what's happening? Uh, what I really like is when he starts getting the little laugh in this thing. And, oh, yes, Dan Soder doing Macho Man, doing the Macho Man. Gotta reach for the shades. I told you that you're not gonna do that on my watch. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, Dan Soder doing his Macho Man Randy Savage is pretty good. Are they all real plates on the wall? Absolutely. Yes, every last one of them is real. Um, going from 1910, starting in 1910, 1911, 1912, 1913, all the way down 1913, Michigan, 1914, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 23, 24. Yeah. Are they from any famous people? No, they're not from any famous people. It's just stuff I've collected over the years. My newest acquisition is the let me back you up here. 1927 Illinois. I just picked that one up. Yeah, it's backwards. Sorry. There's Illinois 27. And I've got some more stuff on the way. I won some stuff on an auction, but I love this old stuff. The 1910 to 1914 era of plates, that's porcelain on steel, like an old bathtub. So each plate is a chunk of steel with porcelain on it. And they are extremely heavy. If I put one in your hand, you go, wow, that's unbelievably heavy. And then in 1915 here is when they went to an embossed plate, but you see how it's got the silver medallion on it? It's like a pewter coin, and it's the seal of Michigan. All the plates have the seal of Michigan. You can see it well on the 1911. Each of these plates until 1919 actually have the state seal on them. Yeah, I love old license plates. I'm definitely a car guy. Oh, and I've also got those right there. Those are 1932 Arizona copper license plates. Yes, they're made of copper. And then the green plates up in the corner, those are Indiana 1918. That's an Illinois plate from 21, I believe. Yeah, I've got, and then this is a set of Ohio 1917s. The golden era of cars, back when cars were rich man's toys. Those were my favorites, like the brass era. I got something really cool coming. I won at the auction last night. Usually I keep a lot of this. You know what? I'm going to keep it under my hat. You'll just have to tune in when I finally get it. It'll be probably a month before I get it. But imagine some of the old cars they were on, says Ozzy, and he's right. Now, here's what's really cool, Ozzy, is imagine all the old cars they were on. Braden, what's happening? Is this one here. This one, it ends in the letter M. M in the state of Michigan, if it ends in the letter M in the state of Michigan, that's a manufacturer license plate. So one of the automotive manufacturers in 1915 used that plate on one of their cars. So how cool is that? That was on a brand new car, probably something getting tested on the road. Who knows? It could have been Ford. It could have been Maxwell. It could have been Pierce. It could have been, who knows? It's pretty cool. That could have been Page, Detroit. That could have been anything from 1915. Could have been Ford. Probably was like Ford. Is there a plate that you want but don't have? There always will be. Yes. There's a slew of plates that I want that I don't have that I want. There's manufacturer license plates. I want porcelain plates. See how they're like this one is 21563. I know it's backwards, just play along. Well, that one's 21563. Well, these are always in pairs. And then each year they started with plate 1. Then so there's 1 through 9, and they're single digit plates and they're super duper short. Then they made double digit plates that went from 10 to 99, and they're a little longer. Then they made 100 to 999, and then there's 1000, so on and so forth. So yeah, if I could exclusively collect license plates of a certain era that money aside, and just one of my favorites, I'd collect the porcelains. Those are my favorites in Michigan license plates. Like, I'm still trying to assemble a whole, because 1910 here, that's the first state issued license plate. Before then, you were issued a number, and then you had to get house numbers or numbers, and they hung them on a piece of wood or leather and then displayed them on your car, leather license plates. Before then. So this is 1910 is the first year for the Michigan license plate. And I have one, and I paid dearly for that one, because from 1910 to 1910, 1911, and 1912, cars are still a rich man's toys, and the average Joe can't afford them. 1913 becomes the tipping point. Like it's kind of becoming affordable, but by 1914 and 1915, yeah, everyone was able to afford a car. Almost everyone was available. A lot more cars are hitting the road. And then by there, this one here, this is a Michigan 1926. And see here that it has a Diamond M. By 1926, Michigan had 1 million cars registered on the road. That's why it has the Diamond M, because Diamond M signified million. They were very proud of the 1 million cars that they had registered. So 100 years ago, they already had 1 million cars registered in the state of Michigan. And then I have a set, let me take them out here on my desk. I have a million number set of, what are these? 1932s. These are a restored set of 1932 license plates. And see how it's 1,106,592. That was to signify the million designation. And yep, see, it's a pair. These are restored. These come from Bill, a elderly gentleman that I know who painstakingly and lovingly restores these. And I mean, like, look how sharp. Those are hand painted. I watched him work. These numbers are hand painted, and notice how nice and clean and sharp they are. He does that freehand. Do you think the creation of central banking in 1913 had anything to do with the boom in those car sales? I don't know. Really. A lot of people. Well, it was the Great Depression when a lot of people lost their money and a lot of people lost faith in the banks. Maybe in 13. I don't know, Damien, but good question. I don't know. That's a really, I can't answer that question, but that is a really good one. And then also, I also have a nice set of Michigan 39. These are unrestored, and it is another. Come on, there you go. Pair. I also have, I forget what year they are, but I have a set of plates that are NOS. They are brand new. They've never been issued. They're still in their paper sleeve. They are brandy new. Put that all away. Well, I mean, yeah, Damien stumped the Dougster. I'm man enough to admit if I don't know. Yeah, there was a after the great after the during the Great Depression, a lot of people had money put in the banks, and then the banks went under, and a lot of people lost their money, and then because of that, people never put their money in the bank again. They literally shoved it in their mattress and stuff like that because there was no FDIC, there was no federal backup plan. That's why we have, it's federally insured with FDICs because people lost everything. They had all their savings tied up, in the banks, and the banks folded, and then they just walked away. And people lost everything. Okay, I gotta put this away. A lot of people buried their money in coffee cans. Yes. And a friend of mine, someone very close to me, is a metal detector guy. And when he goes around metal, he does all of his work research always beforehand, and he'll figure out where the old farms are, and he'll go and his one of his things is he looks for the well wherever the well is, and then he goes from the well around to where the house is to the barn, and then figures out what the layout of the how of the farm was, because he wants to check out that area, that common walked area where you would constantly be pulling stuff out of your pockets and dropping stuff, and that's where he finds coins and keys. And I mean, he got an eagle penny not that long ago, metal detecting this spring, and I've only seen 3 eagle pennies. The eagle pennies predate wheat pennies, and that's like 1800 and something pennies. They're cool. Turbo Tom says my great grandfather never used a bank. Everything he had was cash or gold deals. Exactly, because he got shafted, and they weren't going to get fooled again. Yeah, there was my great grandfather. Um, he grew up working on the family farm, and then my great great grandfather passed away, and then for a long time, my great grandfather worked for my great great grandmother running the family farm, and then just she was a widower for a very long time. She was much younger than my great great grandmother was much younger than my great great grandfather, and she lived on much longer. Well, finally, she decided that she wanted to sell the farm, and then my great great grandfather was friends with a man around the corner, old lifelong friends of my great great grandfather, and he was a very old man at this time. And he said, I have a chance. He went and talked to, they were very close friends, and he turned to him. My great great grandfather turned to him and said, I have a chance to buy the farm from mother. And he says, well, go. His friend, the old guy, says, well, go to figure out what do you need. And he says, probably this much. And the old neighbor friend loaned my great great grandfather all of the money on a handshake deal. And my great great grandfather bought the farm from my great great grandmother on a handshake deal with the neighbor guy. No bank, was used. It was a loan from a friend on a handshake deal. It never took from the soil bank. Mohawk says, I got burnt by a bank back when I was 20 on a car purchase, so I have never gotten a loan from the bank or anything. I hate banks. Yep. I don't hate banks, but I have only taken out like one or two loans in my entire life. I've never had a credit card. I am a cash on the barrelhead kind of guy. Um, I think it's crap that there are places that don't no longer accept cash because I usually operate in cash. I don't like this whole cashless society that everyone wants or seems to be pushing for. But yeah. Yeah, I firmly believe in making myself rich, not the banks. Cash is king. It absolutely is. It's the right size, it's the right color. Everyone likes it. Yes. Cash goes with everything. Yes. And what I cannot believe with the banks is how it's all related to your credit score, and then they'll just keep sitting there feeding you money, feeding you until you spew, and then your credit's bad, and you're in past your eyeballs to the bank. I mean, the only real debt one should have is your house payment. I've only had two bank loans. Well, I try to save up my money. Oh, Hulk Hogan, I see you over there. Yeah, yeah. You're not going to believe what I got going on over here, Hulk Hogan. Oh, yeah. What's going on, Hulk Hogan? The only thing that smelled better than money was Grandma's house when she was done baking. Baking anything. House is the only loans I've ever had. Nice. I am the cream, and the cream rises to the top. Brother. I have credit and I use occasionally, but it's mainly for emergency use. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. Because, I mean, people, when I see people like they get a new credit card and they use the new credit card to pay off the balance of an old credit card with a balance transfer, where they're just taking debt and moving it from this hand to this hand because that one's got an introductory rate of blah blah blah, and then an APR of blah blah blah, which, I mean, a lower APR would be better, but it's still like, why don't you pay it off? Like, here I live near a lake, and you drive through and there's some beautiful, when I was a little kid in 40 years ago, there was, you go by the lake, and from basically Memorial Day till about October, But we'll just say the holiday to holiday. So we'll say Memorial Day to Labor Day. The lake was just hopping. It was just where people went for the summer. Everyone else lived in the suburbs and they lived somewhere else, and they just had a little itty bitty teeny tiny little lake house. And I mean just a little cabin, just something big enough for you and the family to come out and stretch your legs, at the lake and enjoy the lake, play on the boat, and enjoy this area. And then by October, this place was a ghost town. I am dead serious. There was only like 10% of the people lived on the lake year round, because they were just little itty bitty cabins, and they were there for the summer. And then the 80s rolled around, and then during the 80s it was like this, and it was like that for beyond that, even before that. And it was probably around 1990, I want to say, that things started to change. People started buying up other people's little cabins, and then they were tearing down all the cabins and they were building these big houses. And then, like today, there's probably 90% um of the people live full time on the lake. And it's weird, because I remember when hardly anyone lived on the lake. You're not gonna get a hotel room without a credit card. You might be able to go to some old sleazebag motel and pay cash for it, but yeah, without a credit card these days, you're not getting any hotel room. Mohawk says, when I leave this world, I do not want to owe anyone anything. Number one rule: do not leave this world until God calls me up. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I've heard about some people, just, well, for instance, some friends of the family, um this lady's husband died prematurely, and then she remarried, and her new husband had a taste. He was always hitting the casinos, and he was an old retired dude when I was a little kid, to give you an idea how old he is. And constantly would tell you, oh, he drove all the way out to this casino and all the way out to that casino, and he made all this money and he made all that money, and he did this and he did that, and well, once he finally passed on, well, it come to find out he had a horrendous amount of credit card debt. And the debt collectors were trying to grill his widow for all that debt. And somehow she weaseled her way out of it. And I don't know how she did it, but yeah, there was a substantial amount of money that they were trying to make her pay off because she was married to him. Levi's here. Hi, Levi. I've got a surprise for you at No Name Nationals. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I guarantee you're going to love it. So, at No Name, I have a gift for you, Levi. Levi Backyard Performance says, debit cards can be used for hotels and rental cars. I use the company card for business, but anything personal goes on my debit card. Nice. Why did the fisherman go broke? Because he lost his net worth. Oh. What's a fish's favorite musical instrument? The bass guitar, of course. What did the fish say when he hit the concrete wall? Damn. That's funny. Yeah, in 2026, if the little Dutch boy has his finger in a dike, that is totally different from what it used to be. Yeah, I'm getting a I paid up I bought this one um well now I'm extra excited for No Name Nationals. That's right, Levi. Yeah. Yeah, I scored it just last night and yeah, I won't tell you what it is, but you'll like it. I know you'll like it. Yeah, I this one um live stream I go on, he sells um he auctions off stuff and I've been buying stuff on auction and I got some license plates coming, I got some grease caps coming, I've got an old hubcap, I got an old horn button. So once I get all my new stuff here, I'll do Dougster show and tell. I always do. I mean, I've always got stuff for show and tell. Like my Shell Easy Wax can, I still need to clean it all up because it's absolutely filthy. Yeah, the one thing that I bought last night that you won't see for another month probably is super duper extra cool. It's probably, no, it's not the oldest. You think, Levi, it's already June. Yeah, it is. You think, it's, oh, yeah, the year's flying by. And it only seems to get worse as you get older. Next thing you know, we'll be saying Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Braden is saying, how are the Packers like my neighbors? A, they can't pick up a single yard. Why did Jordy Nelson cross the road? To get to the hospital on the other side. Want to hear a Packers joke? Eddie Lacy. Wow, that's actually pretty funny. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything. Ha ha ha. Mohawk says, while walking on a trail, I found an open suitcase with 3 baby wolves in it. I called the DNR. They asked me if the wolves were moving, and I said I'm not sure, but I'd have that would explain the suitcase. Halfway through the year, and I haven't fallen yet. Nice. Time also flies when you have a kid. Jay, you've got a youngin' on your hands. It's going to be like 3 days from now, and that son of yours is going to be driving. And you're going to be like, where did the time go? Levi says, well, I broke the Laguna this past weekend. I just can't wait to dig into it and see what bearing failed. Yay. Bearing, so engine, transmission, driveline. There's a lot of bearings. My wife told me to stop impersonating like flamingo. I had to put my foot down. That's funny as hell. Engine. Ooh. Is it a tappy 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 or a squeaky squeaky squeaky? Hopefully it's something simple. I had to put my foot down. Oh, that's great. Uh, Oh, I know this joke, Braden. Stop going to those places. Maybe it's the gauge. Ooh, nope, not a single sound. Ooh. No sound, but something's broke, huh? I don't like the I don't like the when you know it's hurt, but you don't know why it's hurt. That's one of my favorite ones I like to tell. She looks surprised. You know, I once was addicted to the hokey pokey, but then I turned myself around. My oil pressure safety saved the engine luckily, so at least it's intact and rebuildable. So what does it do if oil pressure falls off, the safety just shuts it down like a small engine? That's pretty cool. And goes up to the bar and asks for a beer. Certainly, sir. 1 cent. Hopefully something cheap and easy. Yes. I would complain to my dad about when stop doing that then. Yeah. Or something's in my eye. Is it your finger? Yeah, oil pressure really is important. It really is. Basically like limp mode. Can't rev it up a lot and won't allow any boost to build. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Well, that's that new stuff. That's huge. I mean, yeah, you could have fully sent that engine, and because the fail safe. Yeah, I most of the time I'm not big on the whole new technology stuff, but that right there is pretty damn cool. Something to like, oh, and the oh crap, you know, here, let's shut her down while you still can. It's a good idea. I love the Psycho Stick version of the Hokey fucking Pokey. I haven't heard Psycho Stick do the Hokey Pokey, but I have heard Psycho Stick do the Sober on St. Patrick's Day song, and that's pretty damn funny. Oh, I tried making a pass, and it said absolutely not. That's funny. Yeah, Psycho Stick's pretty good. I'm sure you guys have heard Jim Brewer do his AC/DC Hokey Pokey impersonation. That is so funny. I didn't know it was low oil pressure until I pulled off the track and looked down. Oh yeah, you're like why are you not playing nice? I want to go fast, and you're like, oh. So look at that. Now that fail safe literally saved your bat. It's literally saved your bacon and because you were still trying to fully send that and it said no, I'm not going to get fully sent. My dad is so short he had to use a ladder to look himself in the mirror. He wears a red shirt people mistake him for a fire hydrant. I can only count to a fourth. It saved me a $4,000 engine. That's worth it. Ooh, I ordered I ordered B&M Flex Plate for shop truck today, and then I got all the flex plate hardware. I got ARP bolts for the crank, and then I got ARP bolts for the torque converter. So all that should be coming real soon. One step closer to running an my Auto Magic in chop truck. Yeah, I was mad, but only for a second. Yeah, I could see that. Where you're just like, you. I can only imagine the things you were calling the Laguna until you're like, oh, I take that all back. I'm so sorry. I love you now. That is. Ooh, let's make a Royal Whopper. Why did the Whopper break up with the French fry? Because he was only a small fryer and wanted something big. That's right. Now, I guess thanks to the movie Pulp Fiction, a quarter pounder with cheese in the Netherlands, I guess, is called a Royale with cheese. I don't know why I remember that. Oh, it's Juan. Why is your face so close? We're just friends. Cannot offer you more than that. Why? Would you like me closer, Juan? Welcome to Dougster Wolverine Garage. As you can see, my pores are. Oh, Juan, what's happening? Oh, I've seen that one. I've seen that one. I can only count to four. Yes. My grief counselor died. He was so good, I didn't even care. Oh! Funny. That is pretty good. That I gotta admit, that is pretty good. Now I've got that I can only count to four song stuck in my head. Yes. I can only count to four. Some of these I'm going to use myself. Friend of mine sent me uh, Tim, what's happening? Any luck getting the Ford up off of the floor? Good to see you. Good to see you, Tim. And boy, Tim, I gotta say that Edward is. There's no denying that Ed is your son. I mean, when you introduced him on camera, I was like, yes, that is Tim's son. 100% that is Tim's son. Well, he sounded before because he was did a video where he was just talking on camera, and even the speech pattern and stuff, he sounds like you. I couldn't believe how much he looks like you. I'm feeling upright today. Excellent. So Elliot is the mini me. Wow, because Edward looks a lot like you too. Now I want to see what Elliot looks like. Wow. I'm on some mushrooms called Rise. Isn't that the mushroom coffee stuff, Braden? Oh, that is savage, Dan the man. Light travels faster than sound. That's why some people appear bright until you hear them speak. Yes. It was a chocolate peanut butter crunch mushroom bar by Rise. Oh, so Rise makes more than just the mushroom coffee. I understand. Man, boy, Dan, that has got a lot of weight behind it because it's true. Just like you see this beautiful woman, and then you see her and you're like, wow, she is gorgeous. And then you get close to her and then you start to hear her speak, and then you're like, oh, never mind, she's ugly as sin, because she's a 10 at first until you realize how bad of a personality she has, or how uneducated she is, or whatever. And then you're like, oh, never mind. I told my wife she was acting like a child, so she went to her room and slammed the door. It's a Chevy S10 that was lopsided? Oh, I thought that was your Ford that fell on its side. Oh, so that was your S10 project. Well, it doesn't make it any better. Okay, good. I mean, it doesn't make it any better. It still doesn't make it any better, but at least it isn't your nice Ford truck. Thank you, Danster. Functional wellness bars. Rice produces chocolate bars infused with mushrooms and designed for cognitive support energy. Interesting. I videoed the whole upright process. Got some editing to do. I'm very you laid out your parameters, what you're gonna do. Totally there. Yeah, I'm the void made him fly away. That's right. Because the void is the void. Bird, 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 pick the birds, a bird, 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 bird. Get him, Boyd. The Boyd's the void. Yeah, I don't know. I used to dabble in the psychedelic stuff when I was younger, and I don't know. It's all fun games till you come down off of that stuff and you feel absolutely horrible, and that's what I don't like anymore. So I think I'm all done with that stuff. That song is even older than me. Wow. Off-road races, they used to, I don't know if they still do it, but they used to do autocross racing over in um my grandpa's toenail fungus. um they used to be, I don't know if it's considered, yeah, autocross, but this one was Park River, Michigan. Bark River. Huh, that must be in the Upper Peninsula. Yeah, the good mushrooms growing cow shit. At least they did. Yeah. Um, Over in Orleans, Michigan, they used to do this off-road racing, and basically it was like a motocross track, but for cars. And this guy was going around. Tanner, what's happening? Good to see you. It's going all right, brother. It's going all right. um it was off-road races with cars, so this guy was actually going around to all the demo derby guys, and he was saying, hey, when you're done with the demo derby car, he goes, before you take it in for scrap, he goes, I want to come look at it and see if I want to buy it for off-road racing, for the autocross. And because we kept saying autocross, we kept thinking like parking lot racing, dodge the cones. And we're like, this won't make a good autocross car. And he's like, no, 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 think motocross with cars. And we're like, oh. And he ended up buying an Olds 88 off of me, that when I was done with it, the trunk lid, the whole trunk of the car, not just the lid, the whole trunk of the car was like this to the rest of the car. And he ended up taking that and bending it back down. And then one of the things they weren't, oh, that's one of my favorites too, Dan. Dan the man. And ow, I just stubbed my toe. And one of the things is they don't want you to have shocks, so you have to have free flowing suspension. And yeah, from what I understand, he would actually like jump the car and all sorts of stuff, and that's why he wanted. Oh, I see. I drive the blue. Yep. Yeah, that hurt me. Yeah, that still doesn't feel great. Um, well, hi, Tanner's girlfriend. Yeah, I like your blue 73 Valiant with a 318 in it. I didn't watch the video at all. I think that's pretty cool that you bought your own Valiant. Eagle River, Wisconsin is home of the world's annual championship snowmobile derby. I've heard of Eagle River. Oh, Valiant Adventurer. Ah, I see. So we have Valiant Adventurer and Vintage Adventure Drives. Okay, there's Vintage Adventure Drives and Valiant Adventurer. That's a smart yeah, Valiants are nice. Shelby, that's her name, Shelby. Okay. Once it gets updated, Shelby will be in second place for the No Name 500. That's awesome. Antigo off-road races with Camden Off-Road National Site. Same with Bark River, Michigan with the ERX Motor Complex in Minnesota. Same with Lena, Wisconsin Dirt City Motor Complex. I want to race so bad. Yes. Yes. I love it, Shelby. So, Shelby, you need to go, if you're a Mopar girl, you need to go find yourself an actual Shelby, like a Shelby Daytona. Yeah, you'll make it. And even if you don't make it, though, Shelby, you still get to go hang out with a bunch of great people down at the No Name, and you'll have yourself such a great time. You get to meet me. I mean, what's going to be better than that? I know you have no idea who I am, but trust me, it's all good. Go get a vintage ice roll snowmobile slide and go race it at the finish up at Eagle River for the weekend. She says she wants to race, but she refuses to put her foot to the floor. Well, she's new at all this, and she's afraid she's going to break it. When she realizes that that's harder to do. Dougster's kind of a big deal. I really am. She's just a baby. You put pants on for this? Well, that was your choice, Dutch. Dutcheroo, what's happening? Ooh, yeah, I forgot to go get that. No, I'll have it for next week. It's really hard to kill a 318. It's really hard to kill a 318. Other things might break around it, but not the 318. Very rarely. Apparently we both did, Dutcheroo. Trying to stab a 360 into its new hole by myself, which is turning problematic. I wish I didn't live as far away. I'm probably 50 minutes away from Dutch, and which sucks because me and Dutch would hang out all the time. I used to drive through Eagle River on my way to deliver up to Ontonagon, Michigan during the races. It would take me almost 2 hours to get through town. Normally, it only takes 15 minutes. Oh, yeah. A friend of my father and mine, he passed on, and he was a vintage snowmobile guy. And he had his son inherited them all now. He had a bunch of Polaris TX 440s that all of them were just so nice. Red, white, and blue. Such nice machines. Makes me sad when I think about Ron. He was a good dude. Just look at my 318 in the satellite. Completely stock internals and a manual. It loves 6,000 RPMs all day long and keeps on chugging. It was built in the 80s. Nice. Just got off the phone with my good friend from the magazine. He's going to drop off my new large Mopar vintage barn signage tonight. Oh, that one? The one that you showed me, Dutch? That thing is so cool. I cannot wait when that thing goes out. we named my car Mary Kay because she looks like I'm gonna pull up and try to sell Mary Kay or Avon. Hey Frank, good to see you. Yeah, hit the thumbs up, please. Now remember, maybe if you're a small-time Mary Kay dealer, Shelby, but if you sold enough Mary Kay product back in the 70s, they would give you a Ford Thunderbird, like a 79 Ford Thunderbird, and it would be Mary Kay pink. So, Mary Kay is a cool name for the car. Back in the day, Mary Kay's truck drivers drove Mary Kay pink tractors and Mary Kay pink trailers. And of course, back then, all of the truck drivers were men, and no guy wants to drive a Mary Kay pink truck and trailer. So what they did was to offset it is they paid those drivers very well, and then um, also they made sure to put the nicest trucks um under them. Like they would have Peterbilts that were loaded to the nines. There was no options that they didn't have. So that was the only way that they could get those guys to drive those trucks, to have the best. So yeah, they were paid well, and they had Mary Kay pink Cadillacs. I never seen a Mary Kay pink Cadillac. I remember Mary Kay pink town cars, Lincoln town cars in the 80s. Look for them, Shelby. You can find the old Mary Kay, and some of those Mary Kay Thunderbirds would actually be lettered down the side of the car, Mary Kay Cosmetics. Ooh, Shelby wants a Duster in Panther Pink. Yeah. Well, Panther Pink is a great color, but it's also the other color name is Moulin Rouge. It's the same color, but it's also called Moulin Rouge. So one was a Dodge color and one was a Plymouth color name. They'd have a sticker in the back window. Right, right. Some had the sticker in the back window. That came later, but I do remember lettered, actual lettered cars, Mary Kay cars, when I was a real little kid. Ford had Playboy Pink. AMC gave the Playboy Playmate of the Year. They gave her an AMC, and then it would be lettered down the side, Playmate of the Year. And a lot of those ladies would have those cars painted black. Chrysler had Panther Pink. Yeah, Inviolate over Plum Crazy. I remember the pink Caddy, not the Lincoln. Maybe it was a regional thing, because there was Ford Thunderbirds, and then later there were town cars, at least around here. Because I remember definitely remember the Mary Kay pink Thunderbirds, the big late 70s big tunable Thunderbirds, Mary Kay cars. And the last of the Mary Kay cars was Mary Kay pink cars is a 90s Grand Prix. I remember a Grand Prix in pink. Maybe there were the caddies. You know, Colleen, now you're causing me to doubt myself. Maybe they were caddies. Regional, maybe. Yeah, Mopar had Panther Pink. Like a 79-ish Coupe de Ville? I don't know. It's been so long ago. Well, I remember, those Avon ladies and those Mary Kay ladies. I mean, they did, a lot of those ladies did very well for themselves. It's funny hearing Dougster in stereo. My right ear hears you behind the left, and I guess Shelby needs to catch up with her iPad. It's playing echo, 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 echo. An old F100 who looks so cute in light pink, Mary Kay color. Yeah? Oh, yeah. You gotta have you actually Cadillac. Speaking of Dan IT's talking about the Bruce Springsteen song Pink Cadillac. Um, Cadillac, I guess, had a pink color called Titty Pink, Tiddy pink. They're not the same color. I used to mix paint for a body shop. Moulin Rouge has more cayenne in it, and Panther Pink did not, making Moulin Rouge even more purple than Panther Pink. Okay. That was a great sound delay effect. Hello. Um, Moulin Rouge tastes better though. Hello, X Dean. I hope I'm saying that right. Um, actually, Guten Tag. Actually, it's evening, so it would be Guten Nacht. A friend of mine always liked Pull Me Over Red from Chevrolet. It was all for the name. Yeah. Um, I love some of the high impact names. Um, oh, it's 3:21 in the morning, so yeah. Then Guten Morgen. Yeah, what was like Go Mango was a great Dodge color. So Go Mango, or instead of Go Man Go. My I only know a few thank you, Eckstein. I only know a few German phrases. My grandmother was raised in a German speaking household. She tried to teach me, and I have such a hard time. I love sassy grass. Butterscotch is probably my favorite. Yeah. Um, because you had the high impact colors. You had Tor Red, TOR-RED, Tor Red, like Torrid or Tor Red. Um, there was rejected color names like Hi Ho Silver and Catch Me Copper. Um, those are some of my favorites that never actually got used. But they had some really interesting. I think my favorite high impact color from that era is gotta be Sublime Green, that bright green. A friend of mine had a 73 SE Charger that he bought in Arizona, and he brought it home when he got out of the service. Mark Sauvé, good evening. And he brought it home, and not safe for work, French. And so he brought that SC Charger home from Arizona, and Google says most Mary Kay cars were mostly GM products with a few others, like a Mini Cooper, but not seeing any Fords. You know, being a little kid, the mind can play tricks on someone. Maybe maybe the Cadillacs were maybe Colleen was right with the Cadillacs. See? I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong. Well, anyways, the when he brought that Charger, that 73 Charger home, he towed it all. He dollied it all the way home from Arizona to Michigan, and ever since day one that I seen that car, it was fire engine red, and I'm like, there's something wrong about the car, and I couldn't put my finger on it. That why. It had a 440 in it, it had headers, it had an electric fuel pump on it, it had a Holly in it. She was a little spicy. He knew nothing about cars. And he bought it because it was the Mad Max car. We all know that that's not the Mad Max car, as far from a Falcon XB. But anyways, so one day I'm over there at his house, and it's early morning, and the morning sun from the east is shining on the car. And finally, I figured out what was wrong. The car was at one time sublime green, and whoever painted the car did such a terrible job that it had light paint in certain spots, and the car in the sun looked like a tomato that hasn't fully turned from green to red. A lady here in town sells Mary Kay and drives a pink Chrysler 300. I've never seen a pink Chrysler 300 Mary Kay car. Interesting. Ah, I love my little black cat. I used to have a black cat. His name was Tyson, and he lived to be like 16, 16 or 17, and then he went to the great kitty palace in the sky. I miss him. He was a really cool cat. Or the new paint faded off. Yeah. Oh, it's a wrap. The pink 300. Mean Street Mopar. What's happening, Ken? Well, look at the Fieros of the 80s. Like they painted a lot of those in red, and then the sun just faded them to pink. There was a pink VW Bug on Route 66. We went on to nice. Uh, Obsidian, OB for short. He's an awesome kitty. Nice. Shelby, Lady Dougster, she has a 73 Super Beetle that we're planning on painting like a ladybug. It's going to be red with black dots. Hey! Obsidian. That's a cool name, Obsidian. Yeah, we named Lady Dougster's beetle Elka after a German lady that we were friends with. She passed on, but Elka still lives on. She was such a cool lady. I raced against a 73 Super Beetle once. I outran my Pinto in a street race. I know that song. I was gonna make my Valiant Cow theme, but I decided against it. Shelby, there was a lady that I used to know. She had a 1980 Mercury Capri, which a Mercury Capri is like the Mercury version of a Mustang. It's almost the same car, but not quite. And she it was white, and she painted black Holstein spots on it, and she called it the Cow Pre. Hey, I'm happy, feeling glad, got the sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. The future's coming on. Nice. President of the United States. Kitty, 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 and I want to touch it. Kitty, 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 and I want to touch it. Levi, what's happening? Move over. Oh, Levi. Okay. Are you the Levi that went and hung out with me and Dutch the other day when we went to Ohio? I think you are. I'm thinking about naming the S10 Lopsided. I think that's a pretty good name. Hearing the echo from Doug singing the Gorillas was pretty cool sounding. Yeah, you're still echoing in the house. Well, cool, Levi. Cool. Good to see you. Welcome. I hung out with Levi. He's a nice. He's a good young man. It's nice to see that the gearhead future is looking bright still. There's young people that still wanna play with cars, and it makes me happy. People like Levi, people like um, my nephew Justin, and like Fox Dude here. He's interested in wrenching, like Tanner and Shelby, and it makes me happy to know that there's people that still like this sort of thing. Levi really liked when we went to Tony Pacco's the other day. I think he liked it just as much as I did. I think Dutch liked it too. Shelby actually found me by watching my YouTube channel. Just over a month later, we have matching cars, and she's making her own YouTube videos. Wow. Use those ham hocks and turn some bolts. That's right. That's awesome, Shelby. Oh, it's Max. Hi, Max. If you come in earlier and I didn't see you, I'm sorry, Max, but uh, good to see you. Stalker. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, Max, that I missed you. It was not on purpose. Yes, I'm glad you were able to extract that broken drill bit from your block. It could have been much worse. Oh, okay. I was like, wow, Tanner's picking up chicks off of YouTube. Yeah, that could have been way worse, Ken. Ken, I hope that thing runs like a scalded dog when you got her all together. That thing's going to be awesome, I think. Telling my buddies that my YouTube channel got me a girlfriend. Nice. I thought he was the cutest thing and decided to shoot my shot. Well, I appreciate that, Shelby, but I have Lady Dougster. Oh, you're talking about Tanner. Sorry. And plus, we wouldn't be able to do the long distance thing. I'm in Michigan, you're in Oklahoma, which is okay. Your shot landed. Now, who has the longest hair? That's a good question. That is a good question. Who does have the longest hair? Closer to world domination. I'm over here laughing out loud. We're about to compare hair length. Nice. Dan the man's got the longest hair. Eh? Nice. Well, Mohawk has the longest beard of this group. I say Shelby wins. Okay, Colleen, I'm just going to go against you for the hell of it. I'm going to say Tanner's got longer hair. Shelby has the longer hair by half an inch. Wow. Wow. That's pretty cool. The more you know. I've seen the video where Tanner's hair is flying out the window. Yeah, Mohawk has us all whipped in the beard game for sure. I still have the longest beard and the sexiest mustache. I think not there, Mohawk. Hey, they don't call this a porn stash for nothing, buddy. And our glasses match. Aww. Aww. Man, I watched this video the other day. Kind of an old school cop stash, too. That's right. Need to see your license or your registration, please. I caught you doing 50, 57 and a 55. There's a video of Shelby and I headbanging together at karaoke. We look very well. Can't say that anymore. How about silly? You don't want to look too much like him. Those couples are a bit creepy. Still think I have the best mustache. Well, okay. If you say so, I know I got the best one. In the late 90s, my hair in a braid would touch my belt. Never checked it hanging loose. Wow, that's a lot of hair, Tim. That's a lot of hair. My boss told me to have a good day, so I went home. We saw a couple the other day who looked like brother and sister. It was super weird. Yeah. Just got back from shopping. Oh, hey, better late than never, old Mac. Yes, I did get your message, old Mac. Sorry I haven't replied. I've been busy doing all sorts of stuff. Old Dancer saying my mullet is just long enough to where it gets caught under my shoulders when I'm under a car. Nice. I used to be a banker, but I lost interest. And much like a credit card, Dan, IT guy, I have a very low I have a very low interest rate. Me and Tanner get confused for brother and sister at the gas station, and it doesn't help that you guys drive the same model of car now too. I think isn't uh Indecisive Europe by like Roscommon way, and I think Old Mac is Central Michigan also. You guys can't be that far apart from each other. Old Mac and Indecisive should hang out if they're close enough to. Check her balance, so I pushed her. It took me a while. Somehow I peeled your email. I spelled your email wrong. The first one said, ooh. That was the day when we went to get her Valiant. I didn't know why we were asked, but we were siblings. Our hair is very different colored. Yes, they are. We're about 40 minutes apart. That's not that bad. Yeah, Todd definitely for the win. Women color their hair all the time, though. My brother-in-law's grandfather on his dad's side of the family, he was in his mid 70s and he still had a dark head of hair. And I just thought that he looks like Robert De Niro. He looks like an older Robert De Niro. And I thought that he just colored his hair. And when I found out that he that he did not color his hair, and then when about the time he turned 80, then his hair finally started to change. And it wasn't like he just stopped coloring it. It was actually his hair was starting to change colors. It's like, how do you still have a dark, full head of hair, and nice and dark in your 70s? Good for him. A friend of mine told me he was addicted to brake fluid. He says he can stop anytime. I drive faster, so it's 10 minutes faster for me. I noticed the 40 minutes on one side and half an hour on the other. Yeah. He drove by the other day and didn't stop in. Well, what a bunch of crap that is. Sorry, Tim, I had four people with me. Terrible passenger in his car. I love that old joke. That's amazing, Ken. When I was a senior in high school, I was on the swim team, and we would dye our hair, cut our hair in funny ways, and then dye it funny colors and stuff. Because for conference, we would shave our heads, and so I let my hair grow, and it was probably about that long. And my mom ran a hair salon when I was in high school, so my mom dyed my hair platinum blonde, and then we got like 2 or 3 packages of tropical punch Kool-Aid, and then we put it to like a couple cups of water and boiled it, and then we poured that in my hair, and I had like this, I was like platinum peach. I guess my hair color was like platinum peach. And the next day, so I had it for like one day, my hair was that color. And then I shaved my head for conference. That was pretty cool. I made sure that day to walk every inch of my high school. So I could just hear everyone going, his hair is like pink. I'm like, yeah. My mom had a friend whose hair turned gray in high school. I knew a guy who went bald at 18. Lost all his hair at 18. If you don't like the way I drive, they can stay on their porch. No sidewalks out here anyway. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, genetics are a weird thing for sure. I knew a guy who had a full beard in 7th grade. I knew a lot of those guys that were part gorilla. Yeah, my friend Neil, by the time he was 14, 13, he could grow a full beard. Yeah. They can stay on their porch. Yeah, if you can't run with the big dogs, stay on the porch. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a scoundrel. They were Italians, right? The Italians. Always funny when somebody says Italian. That would be me, full beard all through high school. I still can't grow a full beard. Last time I attempted to grow a beard, it only comes in about here. So it's only like a neck beard. Still didn't stop me. One time I just grew a beard just to grow a beard, and it didn't connect here or anything. I think now if I tried again, it would do better, but nobody on my I take after my mom's side of the family, and a lot of the guys can grow the Van Dyke like this real well. I can't get it to connect, but a lot of us guys on like my mom's side of the family can't grow beards. We do the old Ned Flanders real good though. If you can poop like the big dog, stay off the porch. My mom made me shave for, I'm guessing, senior pictures. I've only shaved my mustache twice in my life. The last time was 1994. Nosy neighbor. My beard gets too long and itchy really quick. Makes me sure to shave often because of that. Yeah, I get to that certain length and it does get itchy. I have a beard, was going to shave it off, but I'm going to try to give Mohawk a challenge. Go, Old Mac. That's right. Grow it until it touches your belt buckle. My one friend, J-Mo, he was trying to go for the big beard, and he got it probably down to about there. And then his That was like the stopping point. He couldn't get it to go any longer than that. He only could get it to a certain spot, and that's it. Tanner says, hopefully I'll be getting into firefighting soon if I can. I won't be able to have a beard. Yeah, probably because of the oxygen mask sealing against your face. Oh boy, Shelby's going to be all excited because now she's going to be dating a fireman. Ooh. So if you're R.I.P. to the moneymaker. Gotta be careful of beard fires. They're like working on stuff. Oh yeah. My beard stops growing at the length that is now. Okay. If Tanner gets a job on the fire department, then we're gonna have to Shelby will have to play the George Strait song, The Fireman. They call me the fireman. That's my name. I go from town to town putting out old flames. I can cool them down when they're smoldering hot. I'm the fireman. That's my name. Funny thing is, she told me earlier I never wanted to date a man in uniform. Now she is. You can play it on guitar, the fireman? Nice. Oh, so you're musical too? Oh man, you guys are two peas in a pod. Well, I'm not saying it's just a song. I'm not saying that you got to go out and do it. You can you can cool down your lady when she's smoldering hot. You can still be the fireman. That's your name. You know, you can only deal with one fire though. Does Tanner wear a uniform on dates? Isn't that odd? Well said, Max. Well said. Hi, Doug. Sorry that I've been have been on your live. Been busy with school and with the Department of Appleton PD. Oh, that must be Faith. It's all right, Faith. Thursday, she and I were singing together when she played. Nice. It's short about the broken drill bit really tanked. I got a whole 19 views. Holy crap. She thinks my trauma shears are sexy. Try different hashtags. Yes, try different hashtags for sure. Yeah, it's just not landing in the right try auto machine or stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. Dan the man's right. Well, I'm one of the people that watched it. I'm one of the 19. Sometimes you just have videos that just flop. My dad had a brand new set of Red Wing boots, and he was training a rookie driver, and the rookie driver accidentally ran my dad's foot over, and they thought it was broke, and they took him to the emergency room, and she pulls out those trauma shears and puts them under the into the boot, and she's about ready to cut. And my dad's like, "What are you doing?" She goes, "Well, I need this boot off." He goes, "I'll take the boot off." He's like, "I just bought these things. You're not ruining my boot." And Dad said that hurt like heck, but he got the boot off. It is so nice being able to have the front door and windows open with this fantastic weather. It was really nice today. It really was. I think his satellite is sexy. Ooh, I like this. Um, I think his satellite is sexy. I just love 71 satellites and Roadrunners and GTXs. That's my favorite body style. Got to say goodnight, y'all. Upright videos should be out by Friday, I hope. Ta-ta for now. Bye, Tim. Good to see you. Glad you got her in the upright position. Take care. Have a great evening. Yeah, that the 7172 B body is my favorite Mopar body. I love the 71s. I'd love to have a 71 GTX. 71 GTXs are rare as frig themselves. Yes.
Ruby can get to you.
Okay. Shelby knew that satellite back before it even had bucket seats. She's been seeing it around town for 8 years. Nice. Miles, what are you doing, buddy? See him? There's Miles. The catster. He's been beating on the door. The 71 GTX was my dream car as a teenager. When I got that satellite, it was like a dream come true. I can totally get behind that. Yeah, that's my kitty. I have a cat, I have a dog, and I have a rat. I think Braden's a little whacked out of his gourd tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Ruby, you want to come visit? Ruby? No? Come on, Ruby. Oh, here she comes. Hi, honey. There's Ruby. Ruby, look up. That's my dog, Ruby. She's a red heeler. Oh, the 69 GTX is a good looking car for sure, but I don't know. It's that flush mounted turn signal that I love so much in the 71 and the racetrack front bumper. That's what I love. It's just a good looking car. Now, I know that a 73 74 is not much different than a 71 72, but I prefer the 71 72 so much better. And I can't believe how much money 73 74s are starting to get traction and grab. It's nuts. Yeah, the shrooms did get to him for sure. Yep, that's my dog. That's the dogster. Her name's Ruby. Here, Mean Street Mopar says, I wish I could have saved a 71 Roadrunner from the junkyard when I was in high school. It was saved by someone else. At least it got saved. That's important. Alpine white, black interior or black strobe stripe, 383 4-speed pistol grip. Nice. Ruby did take her love to town. And then she also will sing about Ruby, Ruby, you're my baby. Ruby, Ruby, I don't mean maybe. Ruby, 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 will you be mine? 73 Roadrunner looks much better. I disagree, Mark. I do like the stripes, the Roadrunner stripes that the 73 got, where you have the big stripe that runs all the way across the fender, down the door, up the B pillar, and then tank tracks across the roof, especially when they were reflective. Those are cool. But no, I'd rather have a 71, 72 or first generation. I did like the looks of those Cordobas and Chargers. Yeah. Or the Cordoba Daytona, the Charger Daytona that looked like a Super B Charger. Yeah, Super B Charger is pretty okay. I can get behind that, Mark. I can get behind that. Yeah, I liked the Charger Daytona of the Cordoba body style. That came in like a medium, a darker blue, not dark blue, but darker blue, more like denim blue, and then it had navy blue billboards on the sides. That's a sharp car, and I seen one in silver and black in the same paint scheme, and both of those Charger Daytonas were cool, cool. The 73 74 Charger just took the same satellite quarter glass because they knew it was better. That's all. They're all B bodies. Yeah. The 73 74 Charger is what Richard Petty dominated with. He had those things just jacked up in the air like that because it punched a better hole in the air when he was flying. As a matter of fact, they wanted him to drive a Dodge Magnum, and he kept using the Charger body until Chrysler made him use a Magnum. And once they finally were forced into the Magnum, they couldn't make it work. And then soon after that, I think Petty went and drove Oldsmobiles or Buicks. He went to the General Motors side of things. I don't think he was in with Pontiac yet. He did drive a Regal for a minute because I do. Did those come with 360s or 400s? By 73, 74, I think the big blocks were starting to fizzle out, and I want to say it was probably 360s because my friend's 73 Sebring Plus had a 360 in it, and it came factory with a set of 340 heads on it, so they was right at that changeover year. 73 was 383 mag. Okay. Oh, Charger Daytona. Those could come with 380, 360s or 400s. Yeah. Everybody drove Cutlasses in the late 70s Winston Cup. Yeah. Or Monte Carlos. It was all G body. If it was GM, it was a G body in the late 70s. I mean, crap. Yeah, whether it was a Cutlass or a Buick or a Chevy or, yeah, Cutlass 442. My favorite G body is gotta be the Pontiac Grand Prix 2+2, like Richard Petty drove, with the big back window in it. Bedtime. Have a great week. Bye, Colleen. Thank you for hanging out with me as always. Yeah, my favorite G body is the Cutlass 2+2 or the Grand Prix 2+2. I love that car. In 73, the 383 had been superseded for 2 years in 72. The 383 was replaced by the 400. Yes. Yes, it was replaced by the 400. 400. There was a time I remember guys griping about 400s. They didn't want a 400. They wanted a 440, and you couldn't give them 400s. Now, all those people are now everyone's like, oh yeah, 400. It's the biggest of the big block actual dimension. You could take the 400 block and make the biggest engine. And now there's people that are looking for 400s just to make the big cubic inch strokers, especially with all these stroker kits that you can get from like 440 source. When they stopped driving cars that I could buy at the dealerships, I quit caring about NASCAR. Yeah. The 400 put out less than the 360 did? Wow. Well, that's also of the era when like everything lost compression ratios, and then, the looming, they were trying to meet emissions and they didn't know how. Because it's funny, because first thing they did was cut the compression ratio on everything. But if you look at all the high efficiency engines of today that are getting good emissions, they all have high compression. So yeah, Andy Wood from I just forgot his channel name. Oh, Unity Motorsport was talking about that. I actually test drove a 400 Cordoba. It was a dog. Unity. Thank you. I couldn't think of it. Unity. Yes, Unity Motorsports Garage. I don't know why I was having such an issue. Thank you, Dan. Gold star, Danny Boyd. Gold star. You need to get some kind of Mopar muscle car to your fleet. Maybe someday, Levi. Maybe someday. I gotta get my truck done first. That's first and foremost. Yeah, I'll get myself something Mopar muscle car for sure. For sure. She's tempting you. She's like, Tanner, look what I found. And you're like, oh, it's a Dodge truck. Oh, resist the urge. Okay. Good night, Tanner. Good night, Shelby. Enjoy. Fight the power. You're stronger than it is, Tanner. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah, Levi, I'll get myself something cool for sure. And if it isn't going to be if it doesn't end up being a Mopar, it'll be a Pontiac, because I like Pontiacs after Mopars. But I'll definitely get myself something. You're leaving now? Okay. She literally just sent me a 73 Dodge 200 with a 440. She's got good taste. Dr. G is here. And he says my stock 77 400 in my 9-passenger Chrysler Town and Country was a dog, and it pinged a lot and compared to my stock 440 and my 72 Chrysler Town and Country 9-passenger wagon. I drove wagons to help with insurance. Nice. Hi, Wendy. Good to see you. Okay, I'm going to get up for a minute. Oh, doesn't that feel good? I'm back. Smoking and the Bandit. Remember Smoking the Bandit 3, where, oh, hi, Mouse. Where Snowman's the bandit? No? Okay. I was trying to pick up the cat, and he isn't having it. Smokey and the Bandit Firebird, then. As a matter of fact, Levi, it would probably be a 65 Pontiac Grand Prix or a 69 or a 70 Pontiac Grand Prix. Those are my favorites. Ooh, 70 Belvedere. Nice car. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of yard work too. I got the yard mowed last weekend and it needed it. Lady Dougster planted a bunch of flowers in our flower beds. Everything looks all pretty, pretty, pretty. So summer's definitely here. Yep, same as the Roadrunner, just less less options. Rob? No, what's his name? Anyways, it doesn't matter. A friend of mine, he had a 69 or 70 Belvedere wagon that he was going to start putting all the Roadrunner parts on to make himself a Roadrunner station wagon. They never made one in reality. Hey, Kev, good to see you. I haven't emailed you yet, so I'm working on it. I had a 75, 76, and 77 Grand Prix that I loved. But the two 400s were way better than that 301 that I broke a rod in. Yeah. Oh, I had one of those too in a wagon. Those were big cars. Yeah. Yeah, Grand Prix, especially the 75, the 76, and the 77 Grand Prix, those things were the big Grand Prix. Those things were big, heavy barges. Yeah, Levi's Roadrunner is pretty cool. It's not a desirable car. Yep, I've seen his car. Yes, I have. The brown color with the gold trim and the cashmere tan interior. Yes, I've seen his car. It's pretty cool. It's rare. They didn't make very many of them. Oh, they were for sure. I mean, a Grand Prix was a luxury sport car. Definitely a luxury sport car. Was over on the model podcast with the fella from Round 2 Model Company who took over AMT. Oh, nice. Interesting fella. Interesting. Hi, Barry. Barry's one of our Kiwis. I guess I had a rare 400. I pulled it out of a four-door 72 Fury, put into my 71 Challenger. Only thing I changed was the intake to a 4-barrel and a dual point dizzy. Pulled the front wheels. $100 bill is still on the dash. I've got a dual point, Mallory dual point distributor with vacuum advance for a 440 for my build. So, new model coming, B61 Mac from the early 1960s. Ooh, a semi truck. Cool. Yeah, I have a 383 Mallory dual point distributor also, but that doesn't have vacuum advance. But I found that thing on Marketplace for like $35. So I was like, yeah, I'll drive all. I drove like an hour for it. It's always great getting together with everyone here on a Monday night. I've waited my whole life for that Mack truck kit. That's pretty cool. Early 60s, that may not be a sleeper. Sleepers were that was the era of weird sleepers like coffin sleepers and stuff like that, or the little itty bitty sleepers. Macs have a reputation of always being like they're like the rough around the edges brother of the um of the truck world. The only thing that's built tougher than a Mac is an Oshkosh. Oshkoshes are not comfortable at all. They're just functional. Dad slept on the floor of the truck. I bet he did. I like Pontiacs. My favorite is a 63 full size model in New Zealand. We got a Canadian, oh, Laurentian. Okay. Ride rough like a stucco bathtub. Yeah. Ooh, FWDs. There is a place in northern Indiana that has their sign is an old FWD tractor. And I love seeing it every time I get in that neighborhood because you don't see FWDs. Yeah. Oshkoshes were hard as nails. You damn right they were. I loved them because they were cool. Yep, Oshkosh was made in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Yes. Yeah, those Oshkoshes are cool, but they're not comfortable in any way, shape, or form. They are utilitarian. Autocars could be they were still utilitarian, but autocars could be nice. Oh, BMAC had the rounded fenders. Okay. So there was a BMAC, there's a big gas station. Now they own stores and actually are gas station chain, but they used to be fuel delivery service, and then they were just fuel distributor and lubricants, and then they had a truck stop. But now they've got gas stations all over our area, and they had a B model Mac that with an old fuel tanker that they'd put in parades and stuff. Not a flat spot anywhere on a B Mac. Yeah, B Mac had the rounded roof. I know exactly. What was the best Oshkosh? There was an Oshkosh tractor out there that was four-wheel drive, and it had like a triangular hood. Like the hood was square, but the hood went up, like from the windshield cowl out to the tip of the radiator. It actually went up on an angle a little bit. There's one out west of west of here, and I look at it all the time, and that thing's just an animal. Oshkosh made a lot of cement trucks too. I remember Dad driving those trucks when I was a little fella. When I was a little fella, my dad had a 74 Peterbilt cab over straight truck. And it was even, they striped it up and they put my dad's CB handle right on the truck. I remember being so proud of my dad's truck. In the 70s, when there were a lot of Pacific logging trucks here, they were by Oshkosh. Well, no, Pacific wasn't built by Oshkosh. Pacific was a company on the west coast of America. Yeah, Pacific was their own truck brand. I only learned that thanks to the guy who Edison Motors, the guy who's making the hybrid heavy service semi trucks. He taught me about Pacifics. I didn't know about Pacifics till just a few years back. I will build several of those in Dad's honor. Now that is awesome. Dad's handle was CC Ryder on the CB. Dad's handle when I was a little kid, Dad was the Moss Boss on the CB. And then later it changed. And I won't say what his CB handle changed to. But yeah. It used to be the Moss Boss. So when I was a little kid, it said Moss Boss right on the front. Cement trucks, fire trucks. Oshkosh made a lot of service vehicles. Yes. Yeah. You don't see them anymore, though. I don't see any of those Oshkosh heavy service vehicles anymore. Got to see an 18-wheel drive Oshkosh snowblower truck being delivered to the O'Hare Airport, and the hood sat taller than on the semi beside them, and the Oasis Toll Plaza. The triple logger can throw 100 foot. I have no doubt. My uncle's CB handle was Harry Larry. I love the Kenworth in the Moving On TV series. My mom's CB handle was Bumblebee. Kenworth are good trucks. Peterbilts are Levi. Kenworth are good trucks, but Peterbilts are Cadillacs of big rigs. Can't do any better than a Peterbilt. Love Peterbilts. Dad drove for Roadway Express from 1962 to 1992. Pulled him out of the truck right into the ambulance. That was his last trip from Toledo to Strasburg. Oh my God, that's horrible. My dad, he had a Peterbilt when I was a little kid, and then his next driving job, he had a international truck, and then that was tractor 609. It was white, and then my dad was it went by seniority who got the new truck, because they bought at least a new truck every year. And in '89, my dad was next in line, and he got an '89 Ford Louisville Aeromax L9000 Aeromax, and that truck was it was my dad's first brand new semi truck, and I was when I was a little kid, I was king of the world. I don't know who loved that new truck better, him or me. I was a little kid riding in the rig summers with my dad in his brand new truck in '89. I was king of the world. I had to drive a 1970 Mack U600 dump truck. I had twin sticks. We named it the Macosaurus. My son-in-law drives a Pete 389. What do you think about Volvos? Cars or big rigs? They're Braylong. Pete's are the Rolls Royces of the road. Agreed. Big rig. They're fine. They're actually very comfortable. The Volvos are very comfortable. Usually come very well optioned. All the late model ones that I've dealt with have been actually pretty good. Very reliable. Roadway had Volvo, Whites, Max, and big Fords. Oh, yeah. I was working as a truck loader at a steel shop, and I had gotten out of a Volvo semi truck, and then when I unbuckled the seatbelt had laid down the door jamb just right to where I got out of the truck, and I'm in a hurry. Mistake number one. And I slam the truck door, I go down, and I'm opening up because it's a steel hauler, so it's the Conestoga wagon. So it's got the big cover that you gotta move aside and open up all the bows and everything because I'm loading that truck. So I run down the truck and I undo all the bungees as I go down. And then I get that done. I run around and I run down the truck. I open up all the bungees, get up on the dock, and then I get that trailer ready. And then I had to go over to the office to drop off paperwork. And I walked out the front door and I walked down to the bay, which is right next to my office. And I walk into the bay, and I didn't notice that Volvo, because the Volvo's on the right side, and I didn't notice that when I closed that door on that Volvo, that it clacked against that seatbelt buckle, and the door didn't latch, and it actually started to move open, and I wasn't paying attention. I'm in a big hurry, big mistake. And I'm in the other truck, and I'm pulling out of loading bay, and then I grab the door with the trailer, and I hyperextended the driver's door on that Volvo. Yeah, that was a bad day. Dad pulled triple trailers. He hated that. They weren't allowed here. The triples weren't allowed in Michigan, but you see them in Ohio. Definitely know you're an Ohio guy. Roadway was just getting the KWs when they retired. Take a Peterbilt, a Kenworth, and a Freightliner, put them together, you get a Peter that's worth shaking. That's right. Yeah, he did. That video of Dr. Goes. Yeah, that poor thing. Now the worst thing that I seen is when we were up in New York. State is on some of the toll roads. they'll allow the truckers to run double 53 footers. That's the one that made me go, yeah, I mean, run two 20-footer pups or three 20-footer, run triples or doubles, okay, of the 20-footers, okay. But running double 53-footers, holy crap, that's moving some freight, y'all. Yep, triples on the Indiana tollway. You won't see triples in Michigan. They're not allowed. D-Man, what's going on? Good to see you. Welcome. Oh yeah, diesel's definitely in my veins. I do love a cool morning, like in the fall or the spring. Cool morning, and you got a bunch of the cold diesel trucks started up in the morning, and they're all warming up, and that smell of that diesel exhaust, and it's good. Gotta love the smell. Dad had to break them down before getting off of the turnpike. Yes. No, no triples here in New Hampshire. Doubles are allowed. Yep. One of my dad's co-workers, it was a lady driver, and she had like 12 years of driving experience, but she had no experience in backing up trucks. And dad's like, how do you have 12 years of driving experience, but you've never backed up a truck? And what it come out to be is she lived out of state and she was hauling the triples up and down the interstate. That's all she did all the time, was just hitch onto the triples and take it over here and then drop those and pick up another set of triples and then take them back. She never had to back them up. She just took them up and down the highways. Got a ticket in the mail for a toll road in Indiana. We had traded in our Jeep and forgot to take the plate off. So it was on a flatbed. Thought I was doing good. Thought I was doing good pulling doubles for UPS. Then I watched a UPS driver pass me and then back his whole rig into the parking spot. I cannot back up doubles and keep them in between the lines. Those guys that can do that stuff is just amazing. Yes. Yeah, backing up doubles. Roadway terminal in Toledo had at least 200 rigs on the ready line all the time. Oh, the smell of diesel fuel. Agreed, Kev. Yes. The picture was all blacked out except for the plate, so it could have been the flatbed or another car. Oh. I'm sure, just when you think it can't be done, you got those guys that can do it. And I tip my hat to those guys. There's some videos I've seen on YouTube of this guy taking a set of doubles and backing it all over the place and putting it right where he wants it. Think I remember short triples when I was a kid. Yeah, the short ones are 20-footers, D-man. Yeah, those are called 20-footers or pups. And then so you're talking double 53s in New Hampshire on the interstates or double pups. Because in New York, I seen on the toll roads in New York, I seen double 53s, which are just huge. And they come up with a 60-foot trailer, but the National Highway Safety Board knocked it down here in the States. But I guess the 60-footers made it into Canada. So a 60-foot container, that's a hell of a trailer, y'all. So that means a 60-foot container, you could put, if they were all sideways skids, the wide way, you could put in 32, 32 pallets, single stacked wide. Roadway terminal is on Hagman Road in Toledo. Most people moved out of their house when Roadway moved in 75. No fresh air in that neighborhood for sure. Road train, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The real road trains, though, are out in Europe and in Australia. The coolest triples I ever got to see was on I-90 in Montana going west, and going fast was the Coca-Cola rolling billboard lit up at 11 p.m. Cool. I've seen some videos. Yeah, Aussies had them beat for sure. Well, they don't have any trains in Australia. So, like the Aussies love trains because they don't see those when they're here. They love trains because they don't see them back home. I seen a thing, and it was a Shell tanker truck, and it was European. You could tell, and it passes this car, and it's a Shell tanker truck, and there's got to be like 6 full-size tankers being pulled all at once going down the highway. And it just blows me away. I was like, they're hauling that much fuel going down the road? Oh man, the NTA, the National Highway Safety Board, would have a conniption fit if they seen that. My brother-in-law got a visit from the police asking if he had the plates because the car he had sold was in an accident. The person had hand-painted a copy of his plate on a piece of paper. I've heard of that stuff. There's a license plate collector friend of mine. He has a license plate in his collection from like 1941 or 1942 or 1943, one of those years, and it's a copy. It's just a piece of metal, and somebody used the right colors and hand painted it, and it's a copy, and he has it in his collection. And from a distance, it looks just like the right thing. That you gotta want it. So I've heard of that. I've heard of that a lot. Montana was famous for Montfort meat haulers. Cool big rigs, yeah. Roll on big old Lawson's orange juice. No, I don't know Lawson's orange juice. From Florida to Ohio in 24 hours. Wow. That's getting it done. Fresh. Oh man, we're having such a good time, and we've been on for 3.5 hours. As always, even as much fun as you're having, it's time to pull the plug. Been listening but jamming? All right. Cool, Tom. Got offered opportunity to drive trains in Australia. I said, nope, everything there moves is trying to kill you. That's true. Yep, 2.5 hours. So I'm gonna pull the plug, everyone. As always, great hanging out with everyone. Big thanks to all my moderators, as always, keeping everything running smoothly. Without you, I cannot do this. So thank you very much. Look up Big O. Okay, I will. So everyone, let's be like the Beach Boys. Let's get together and do it again. And be here next week. Same Dougster time, same Dougster channel. Bye, everyone.